The second important element of an effective meeting is to follow Robert's Rules of Order. Vermont statute requires all school board meetings to be conducted according to Robert's Rules. And to start off this topic, I'd just like to get a sense of where people are at in terms of their comfort level with Robert's Rules. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being who's Robert, 5 being I'm a parliamentarian extraordinaire, how comfortable are you with Robert's Rules?
59, 56%. 3, look at that.
Good. We seem to have some almost experts in the room. Or in the room.
But Nicole, I have a question.
Sure.
Who's Robert?
Henry Robert designed a set of rules to help bring order to the chaos of meetings. So 17% of you don't feel so comfortable using Robert's Rules. 48% of you feel pretty middle of the road comfortable, and 31% feel very comfortable. And we've got a couple parliamentarians extraordinaire, so that's great. That's great to hear. I would not consider myself to be a parliamentarian extraordinaire, but it's very important that the chair become familiar with Robert's Rules. There are several resources available. There's the complete book of Robert's Rules, which now contains, in the 11th edition, contains close to 700 pages of text. All of that content is in there because at some point it has come up as a question of procedure somewhere. But the average person does not need to know all the details of those 700 pages in order to be able to function effectively in most meetings, or even to chair a meeting. According to Henry Robert, at least 80% of the content of Robert's Rules will be needed less than 20% of the time. So the book I have pictured on this slide is Robert's Rules in Brief, which is 88 pages in length, a little bit more manageable, and contains information that board chairs and board members will most likely need to access on a regular basis. For an even more abbreviated version, the VSBA Essential Guide has a chart of motions and the restrictions that apply to each. And that's on page 93 of the guide. You'll make a note for yourself. Questions and issues around Robert's Rules typically come up when a topic being debated is contentious. We advise chairs to brush up on Robert's Rules. If you know you're heading into a contentious conversation or debate at a meeting, do yourself a favor and review the basics at least, so that you can feel confident navigating any contentious waters that come up. If a question or point of order is raised, you should feel free to make a motion to recess in order to consult with the rules if you feel like you need a little space to do so. Another good resource for you to go to is robertsrules.com, which has a question and answer forum and a list of frequently asked questions, which I found to be pretty helpful. One final note I'll make about Robert's Rules is that for small boards with a dozen or fewer members, you could elect to operate under Robert's Rules for small boards where really less formality is involved. One common difference is that board chairs can vote if the assembly elects to allow that. In our Essentials Guide, we have a page that outlines the differences and considerations you should be aware of if that's a direction you'd like to move in. Do we have some outstanding questions on Robert's Rules?
Well, no, you just answered one of them. No, she just answered that question.
Page 94 of the Essentials Guide.
Yes.
Tell you all you need to know. Should I go?
Well, no, I think you should keep going. I'm going to come back to a couple of the questions that have been asked because they're good ones, but they're on a different subject, so we'll come back to